Welcome to Exxpert SCM, a unit of Thoughtware Training Private Limited. In this short video, we are going to see what is supply chain management. This is suitable for people who are new to supply chain management or the people at the entry level and to students. I am trying to give basic understanding of supply chain management in this video. Okay, so for any product to come to the retail store or to your home through online purchase, it has to come from raw material. Okay, raw material can be anything. Of course, all 100% of the raw material has to originate from earth. Okay, for example, here you are talking about woolen sweater. So there are some raw material supplier who is supplying to a manufacturer, then it is going to distributor, finally to a retailer could be you can visit the shop or you may order these items online. Finally you are getting the finished product. So you can see there are a lot of conversion process taking place from the original material. We can also see one more example. For example, here we are talking about guitar manufacture. Of course, most part of the guitar you need wooden item. You can see the stage 1 where tree felling happens. Second, stage 2 is storage. Third one is transport to sawmill. Stage 4 will be breaking down or making it as a small usable pieces. Stage 5 is seasoning. Stage 6 could be resourcing, sawing to a accurate size. And stage 7 you can see the manufacture of the final product. Okay, it may undergo various stages of manufacture either inside the organization or from the component manufacturer before it comes for assembly in the final unit, and finally you are going to get the final product. Okay, this is the flow in most of the organization. Okay, and you can take a famous example of any passenger car. Okay, here also the material like steel, rubber or plastic, any material, it originates from the earth as a raw material. Okay, it may be in the form of ore, which is then converted into rods or plates and then converted to components, maybe through some type of a molding, casting or machining process. Then it goes to the final manufacturing plant for their assembly. Okay, in this type of situation, for any passenger car, the number of component required may be in the level of 25,000 to 30,000 individual child parts. Okay, maybe these are coming from 1000 or 1500 suppliers, and this supplier base may be spread across the country or across the world. Okay, so you can see there are a lot of coordination required from getting this raw material and moving to various layers of conversion, and finally when it comes to the car manufacturing unit, it could be a simple assembly operation and testing. Okay, so in the e-commerce maybe you are not so much focusing on this background operations, because e-commerce mostly related with the product only after it is ready. Okay, they are mainly dealing with distribution type of activity, whereas in the core manufacturing you will see a bigger supply chain, because there only the lot of complication challenges are there, and also the job opportunity at every stage. The material moves, there is some value addition taking place, and this can happen only with the supply chain management. To put it in a different perspective, you can see in this picture, for any product this is the flow taking place, but there could be different layers depending upon the complication. Here we are seeing a simple flow, maybe 6 or 7 layers are there. Yes, raw material suppliers are available. Even if you see, even before this there could be some iron ore manufacturer who take the ore from the earth, and then finally there are some raw material converting suppliers. They make in terms of rod, plates, something similar. It could be steel or plastic or any similar material. Then it goes to second level of supplier, okay, who will be doing some type of a semi finishing, okay, because all supplier may not be specializing in every process. So it may go to the suppliers who have the required competency, and then it goes to the final manufacturer. Mostly if you see, the final product manufacturer will be involved in some type of a assembly type of operations, okay. They are getting all the component from various suppliers, and also possibly they will also do some manufacturing inside the plant if the component is critical, and then they do the assembly testing before sending it to the market. You can also see when it goes to the coming to the market, the product may not directly go to the end consumer, okay. There may be lot of layers of channels of distribution. There may be some intermediate distributor warehouses, then finally retailers, and consumer on the other end, okay. Why we need all these layers is all depends on the service level expected by the customer, okay. Nowadays current customer wants the product to be immediately available when the payment is made, okay. So it may not be possible many times to directly ship the item from manufacturer to the customer. That's where we have multiple channels of distribution to facilitate easy delivery to the customer, okay. What you are not seeing is, as you know, the supply chain is end-to-end management, which also means there is something happens after the product is delivered to the customer. For example, there could be some warranty, guarantee, replacement, which involves some type of a reverse logistic. There are also product recall, and maybe some of you are aware, in developed countries there are rules governing electrical and electronic goods disposal at the end of lifetime. So these products must be returned to the original manufacturer for suitable disposal. So here reverse logistic plays an important role, okay. So you can see, once this item at the end of lifetime, when it comes back to the manufacturer can do several operation, including refurbishing, repairing, remanufacturing, or if nothing is feasible, maybe he will incinerate this item or bury this item, okay. So you are seeing a complete cycle, item originating from earth and going back to earth. The entire cycle is called the supply chain cycle. This is also called cradle to grave. Everything originates from earth, whether it's a human being or material or anything originates from earth, and finally it goes back to the earth. So supply chain is there everywhere, okay. Now possibly if you are not so much involved in supply chain, what is visible to you is only you are seeing the item in retailer showroom or on the e-commerce item, you are just ordering it and getting it. That's only one small process of supply chain management, okay. So we seeing this example, you can see supply chain consists of a flow of product and services. It need not be only the product, it can also be the service. From to it's a multiple directional flow: raw material manufacturer, intermediate product manufacturer, end product manufacturer, wholesalers, distributors, retailer, end customer. This is a typical mid-level type of organization can have this type of a channel, especially when they are in manufacturing. If they are in retailing or e-commerce platform, then only last three category may be applicable to them. And these things are connected, the flow is connected by agents, transportation, storage activity, and integrated through sharing of information, planning and processing activity. So there are lot of work happening here to convert a raw material to final product and then reaching to the customer like you. There are so many processes happening which are already integrated, because if you want to quicken the delivery of these products, everything should be live, integrated, and real time. Okay, you can see in some organization, maybe traditionally they may be not using supply chain, but the future is going to be a supply chain. Okay, even in the organization they were having a disintegrated function in many organization, especially in India. They may not use the supply chain management as it is, but they may be working silo. For example, many organization, they may have inbound logistic or physical supply, and outbound logistic or physical transportation distribution. So you can see some similar activity taking place at the inbound and outbound, something like transportation, inventory, order processing, acquisition, protective packaging, warehousing, material handling, information, maintenance. So you can see a lot of overlap between inbound and outbound. This is what the supply chain is trying to address. Okay, so it is merged under one common function. Okay, there is nothing called inbound and outbound. A common supply chain executive will be responsible for both. There is a synergy because you are seeing a lot of common item in inward and outward. So finally, when integrated, we are going to benefit from this process. Okay, so you may see supply chain may have a different function and how it is evolved over last 50 years. Okay, in the recent years, maybe 2000 and afterwards, supply chain is very strong in developed countries, and now in India it is slowly picking up. Definitely in the future, supply chain will be there and have a greater participation. So you can see in this picture, depending upon the organization you apply for a job or working for a job, there are several subdomains inside the supply chain, starting from demand management. You can see there are some demand planners or demand managers are available. Second is purchasing. Purchasing is one of the core activity. Okay, then material requirement planning or supply planner or material planners will be there. Production planning, so this involves you master production scheduling and material requirement planning. Manufacturing inventory planning and management is there. Coming other side, you will have warehousing, material handling, packaging, finished good inventory, distribution planning, transportation, customer service. So you can see there is something related to inbound component and outbound component and something in between. All these are integrated. Okay, earlier it was separately inbound logistic and outbound. Now it is combined to call a single logistics. And finally, in the year 2000 and after, some additional function like strategic planning, information service, some part of a marketing, sales, and also finance is added to convert the thing as a supply chain management. You can see, as a supply chain management, there are so much sub functions are included to make it more meaningful and to serve the customer in a better way. Okay, and also you will see the supply chain is not only within the organization, it is also integrated with the supplier on one end and customer on the other side. We will also have a system, information system, connecting everything. Okay, there will be a total real time visibility so that it can work properly. Well, it is not very much about the definition. So when we talk about supply chain management, so we are taking care of entire activity for converting raw material to finished product. So it includes planning, execution, transportation, warehousing, all that necessary to efficiently manage things is called the supply chain management. There are certain goals for supply chain management. Okay, normally we call it as 7 R's. It could be it in the right quantities, to the right location at the right time in order to minimize the total system cost. Why we have integrated separate function is the ultimate aim is to reduce overall system cost. That is the final objective of supply chain management apart from serving the customer. Hope this is clear. Thank you for watching.